It's time for another Am I the A-Hole cruise version. I enjoy looking through Reddit's Am I the A-Hole subreddit for cruise content. It's always a good time, and I have a few doozies for you this week. Ahoy, travelers. It's Amy with Cruising from the Ozarks here with a little cruise levity for the week. The first question is titled, Will I be the a-hole if I didn't pay my share of a cruise for my mother-in-law? Let's check this out. My brother-in-law booked a cruise for my mother-in-law's 60th birthday for her and my father-in-law, with the intention of his other siblings, my sister-in-law and my husband, paying an equal share. We told him we didn't want to spend as much as I'm on maternity leave and would be able to contribute maybe $400 at most, as cruises can be quite cheap. He then went out and booked a cruise for $2,700 without consulting or confirming anyone else. This would mean us contributing $900 each. And I'm a little unsure at this point if that is like the base fare with like taxes and port fees, or if it's before taxes and port fees and gratuities, because I don't know if this person knows a whole lot about cruising to really give that information. My sister-in-law paid $200 as that's all she could afford, and I relented and paid him $500 after he told us that apparently father-in-law would cover any additional cost that the siblings didn't pay. He has now messaged us all and stated that we all need to pay $675 total towards the cruise. I find this unfair as we gave him a budget, which he ignored. He booked the cruise before confirming the amount with us and now is angry that we seem resistant to pay so much. Would I be the a-hole if I refused to pay the additional $175 we owe him, even though we agreed to contribute to a cruise? For me, this person is totally not the a-hole. The brother-in-law definitely is, though. Buying a cruise is a great gift for your parents' anniversary, but if you want the whole family to go in on the cost, there has to be an agreed-upon budget. You can't just go out and purchase a cruise and then ask for everyone to pitch in, and you can't ignore the budgets given to you from those who you asked to help out. Or you can, but then you need to be willing to cover the rest of the cost. Not everyone is going to have the same disposable income to contribute. It doesn't mean they care any less, and unless the father-in-law had suggested this and said from the beginning that he wanted to contribute or had originally planned to purchase the cruise himself, then he shouldn't be expected to contribute to his own gift anyway. But let's see what the other commenters had to say. So the first one is not the a-hole. If he's booking a cruise with the expectation that you all pay, then all of you decide on a budget before booking. He doesn't get to book something outside everyone else's budget and then get cranky that you can't contribute. Totally agree. This is basically what I said. Not the a-hole. Brother-in-law went over budget. You were honest with him. You gave him a rather fair amount of money. Why does sis get a skip with only $200 and you have to pony up more? And then this is the original poster. The comment said, I guess because my husband can be a bit of a pushover when it comes to his family, but I put my foot down tonight and insisted we don't give him any more. Good. Don't give in. They've already gone over what their original $400 budget was as it is. So this is on brother-in-law. This is not on anybody else in the family. Next one, good for you. I think you're on the right track and you're going to have to keep that foot steady. What happened to father-in-law pitching in? And again, the OP says, so it seems the father-in-law is now contributing a quarter of the cost. 675 times 4 is the total cost of $2,700. I know 675 is better than 900, but it is still much more than we expected. And then last one, not the a-hole, but your brother-in-law is. That's exactly what I said. If he decides to spend more than the given budget, he is in charge to cover the leftovers. And this is exactly the way it is. Whether you're buying someone a $200 gift that you want everybody in the family to go in on and pitch in $50, or you're buying a $2,000 gift, it doesn't matter. You have to agree upon it first, set a budget. This should have been a lot of back and forth discussion before this was ever come up with. Now, years ago, my mother and her siblings decided to give their parents a cruise to Alaska, And they just gave them cash, which then my grandmother pocketed in a dresser drawer. And I don't know if she's ever spent it, but they never went on a cruise. I know that much. That's the way you do this. You say, okay, we heard you wanted to go on a cruise. We think you might like a cruise. Here's the money for the cruise. Take the cruise. Don't take the cruise. Put it towards a cruise. If you want something more luxurious, you can just add this towards what you want to pay extra. But unless everybody's in agreement, including the receivers of the gift, you don't go out and buy someone a cruise. That's just, should be common sense.
That's called common sense. That in your tiny mind is not common.
So who do you think is in the wrong here? What would you do in this situation? Would you pay up? Would you have paid the $675? Let's look at another one that really has me stumped. The title is, Am I the a-hole for calling my husband selfish for offering a cruise? Like, already I'm thinking yes, unless there is some major extenuating circumstances. So let's check this out. Says, some context here, my husband works in the cruise industry and has been asked to go work on a project for a high-end luxury cruise for 2 weeks because he's the only one available to do the job. He would be able to bring my 6-person family along and turn it into a family vacation. Unfortunately, the time period he wants to do this, it literally said that he was the only one available to do the job at this time. It doesn't appear like her husband chose this 2-week period, okay? But it says, unfortunately, the time period he wants to do this is in a week where I already had a concert playing with some old friends of mine. I yelled at him and called him selfish for thinking it was appropriate to offer this cruise when he knew it would cause me stress trying to make the decision whether or not to go. He is now upset with me for calling him selfish. So Reddit, am I the a-hole?
Yep.
Wow. Yes, this person is definitely the a-hole in the situation. Not only is her husband working to provide for the family, but he has a great opportunity to take the family on a luxury cruise for 2 weeks to boot. To top it all off, according to the OP, the husband didn't demand the family go, but instead asked if they wanted to go, and the OP yelled at him for it because she had previously scheduled plans, and not for the whole week or 2 weeks, just for 1 day. Why this is such a big deal. Second, she's acting like he booked a vacation knowing she had plans. He's working. It's merely a bonus that she gets to go at all. I have a feeling you guys are going to agree with me on this, but let's see what the other Redditors thought about this. You're the a-hole. He made a kind offer. Your complaint is having to make a decision. Are you new to adulthood or something? Sometimes I love Reddit. Life is full of decisions. Your friends certainly would have understood that a cruise with your family trumps 1 night at a concert. You sound totally unreasonable. Stress trying to make a decision. Come on. And I totally agree with this. It's absolutely unreasonable, her reaction to this. She yelled at him. I just can't even imagine. You're the a-hole. He just offered, hey, would you like to go on a cruise? I'm sorry, I have a prior commitment. Done. Yeah, just say, I don't want to go. Take someone else, or only take the kids with you. Maybe take my mother or your mother to watch the kids. I don't know. There's a lot of other options out here besides yelling and being a jerk about it. You're the a-hole. Unless he was being pushy about it, he did nothing wrong by offering the cruise. You could say no to the offer. Judging by the way you've written the rest of this, it sounds like you would have been more mad if he didn't offer it to you and you found out after it was too late. It's an expensive paid cruise that he has to go on. Just be happy he wanted you with him and that he thought of you. He was not being selfish. Agreed. You kind of have to wonder, like, what is this person like on a daily basis that she had this reaction to something like this? Like, it's a wonder he asked her at all. And finally, so let me understand this. 1, your husband is working on a cruise for 2 weeks. I'll assume they tell him which 2 it was. 2, he offered you and 5 people a free cruise. Actually, I think it was her and 4 people. He's the 6th person, but the 6-person family. He offered you and 5 people a free cruise, which would cost thousands of dollars. 3, you're upset. Oh, I hate it when people use the wrong your. I was an English teacher. You're upset because the 2 weeks he is required to work overlaps with a 1-day concert. And 4, easy. Send 6 people and you stay home. I bet they will all be happy you are not going. Once again, wrong your. But I agree with the thought, not the spelling, but the thought. So what do you guys think? Would you cancel your concert plans for a 2-week free luxury cruise? If you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something, consider subscribing with the notification bell on so you don't miss any future posts. Be sure to hit that like button as well. It only takes a second, and doing so helps cruisers like you find us. Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.